So the easiest thing to do, like I said in that song, we had a song, Ghetto Boys had a song called The Secret. It was George Clinton actually performed that song with us. But it's a song called The Secret on the Foundation album where I said, I'm yes, sir, no, sir, but when he pull off, he is a motherfucking dick-sucking redneck son of a bitch. When he pull off, not while he's in my presence. You know what I'm saying? And the name of the game is to get home, baby. Get home. Just like they're trying to get home, I'm trying to get home too. The name of the game is to get home. Get home. Get home. Play to stay. Play to stay alive. Play to stay free. So yeah, I've had a couple issues, but I know, but keep in mind also, I got family members who are police officers. I got family members who are high-ranking police officers. I got family members who are in the FBI. Okay, so I understand. I'm not one of them dudes who all cops ain't this and all cops. I'm not like that because I know those dudes personally, and I know that they solid dudes. They good dudes. It's like you was alluding to earlier. You was talking about how we got some good dudes in the hood that would make some good police officers, right?
Right.
So there are good cops out there, but these uncivilized mutts, they got to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got relatives in the law enforcement too, and got homeboys as good cops. As a matter of fact, my son got pulled over by one of my partners. And he told me, he said, "Man, I'm gonna tell you, stop. I saw you on your phone and doing this and that." He said, "Everybody ain't gonna be as nice as me. I know your dad, and I'm gonna tell him he was out here on the phone. He was driving." He said, "You know my dad?" He said, "Yeah." "You want me to call him right now?" And my boy called me and told me, and it's a lot of good cats as police officers. I got homeboys as real good police officers. They serious about what they do and care about their badge. But it's a contingency of officers, man, that make everybody look bad. And every police officer ain't bad. It's probably more good people in the force than it is bad people. But them few ones that's in there, they such fuck ups and such bad people, they're a reflection on everybody.
The only thing about that the statement that you made presents a conundrum because we want to be safe just like everybody else. Like Black people want to be safe in their neighborhoods. We don't want to not like the police. We don't want to not like the police. But how can you like a motherfucker that don't like you? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we find ourselves at. So these cops who are the a-holes, they got to be exposed by the ones who are not. In order to really shift the pendulum, you have to have more cops who are really good cops speaking out. And until we get them to speak out, we really can't. We're really going to struggle with really saying that we got more good cops than bad cops. Until we get the ones that really speak out. Because once you make it cool to actually be a solid cop, once you make it cool to be an honorable police officer, then honorable becomes the norm. It becomes the standard. Right now, being an honorable police officer is not the standard. Being a corrupt peace officer or police officer is the standard. Being a clown, being an asshole, being arrogant, being a drunk, being a druggie, that is the standard right now because that is what we see mostly. And we could talk about good cops all we want, but we don't have the luxury to downplay how serious that is because lives are on the line.
Right.
Human beings are being slaughtered in the streets every day. And if they're not being slaughtered, they're being raped. They're being robbed. They're having their homes invaded. Like, this is my home. I pay the rent here. I pay the light bill here. I pay the mortgage. I pay to get the lawn mowed. I pay for this dwelling. I pay for this. And just because you got a gun and a badge, you can just kick the door in when you feel like it and start shooting? No, fam. No. So until there's some real repercussions, it ain't gonna be a change. It's almost like somebody going to school. Man, imagine if your kid went to school. Let's say, Eiht, you sent your kid to school, and every day your kid went to school, he getting into a fight. He fighting the teacher. He ain't making no good grades. He telling the teacher, kiss my ass. My daddy MC Eiht, he'll kick your ass. Fuck you.
Mhm.
Then come home and then tell you what he ain't gonna do and all this. What? And then on top of that, he got a birthday, big old birthday bash coming up, and you throw him the birthday bash. If your child can still get what they want at the end of the day, if you're gonna reward bad behavior, there is no incentive to change such bad behavior.
Real talk.
And that's where we find ourselves at with these cops. If these cops were being held accountable, there's a good chance that Sonya Massey would still be alive, because that cop, Sean Grayson, would have known that he was going to be investigated, and there was a great probability that he would be prosecuted and convicted. See, when they know, that's why you don't see a lot of black cops killing people for nothing. You don't see black cops illegally gunning people down. It ain't because black cops are so wholesome. It ain't that. It is because they know that there's a line that they can't cross.
For real.
They know that if they do this gonna happen. They're gonna be held accountable. That's why they don't do it. The black cops are held accountable. Even the Hispanic cops are held accountable to a great extent. But these white
what's funny?
Being held accountable by far and large.
What's funny about that, Will, is some of the, in my experience, now I don't have some white boys show out, but the Mexican and black cops out here go the hardest on you. It seems like they're trying to make a point. You ever notice that, Eiht?
Yeah, because they, like I said, it's the profiling of the area. You get me? And, you know, that attitude is more or less of you know, niggas being still bred in the neighborhoods that they probably, you know, despise. They despise, especially when they try to impress. You get me? They despise when you're not following the code that they follow to get to where they're at. So we get harassed a little bit more by our own kind in our sections. You get me? That's just the norm for us here. You get me?
You get harassed, but do you get killed more?
No, you might not get killed. You might get a little, your pride hurt and a little embarrassment, talk shit to or called names or whatever. But it ain't never been a situation where I don't think niggas was worried about the black cop pulling a gun on them, gunning them down. You know, you more or less talk shit to them niggas. You sell out type of motherfucker or fuck you. You know, I don't think we ever feared that. But getting pulled over by a white cop, you damn right. You get me? You had that fear like, oh, this motherfucker might shoot me. You feel me? So let me try to comply a little bit more differently.
You know, and I've seen both instances. I've seen where you have a cop that got a real, you know, he got a real reason to pull somebody over. They may be speeding or something. He's just trying to give them their ticket and get on. We don't have the luxury that the white boys got. I've seen white boys go in on police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you try that.
You see them get pulled over by their own kind. They'll cuss a motherfucker out. They'll do shit that you wouldn't even fathom of doing. You get me?
Why do they do that though? They do it because there is no incentive for them to change behavior. If the police started busting them across their motherfucking heads and shooting them, they'll stop doing that. It ain't that they braver. It ain't that. It's the only thing that's keeping them from behaving a different way. It's the only thing stopping the police from doing them the same way. It ain't because they have some type of infinite love for them. It is because of the law. It is the law. When the law, they know that they're protected by the law. That is the only reason why they behave like that, because there are police officers who do kill their own kind and who do rob their own kind, who do weaponize law enforcement, to get back at their enemies in their family and in their neighborhood. And, you know, the on jobs where their spouses work at. You know, they weaponize the police departments all the time. They weaponize law enforcement all the time. But the only reason why they don't cross those lines is because of the law. The only reason why white folks talk to the police the way they do is because they already know that the police ain't gonna do nothing. But what happens the first time the police disregard the code? The police crack a white person across the head, like, you fucking hit me. Okay. That's what they do. Okay. They ain't still Billy Badass. They not no Billy Badass. They start.
I don't see them talk some. I don't see white folks talk some cash shit to police and get away with it.
Yeah, but
I don't get smart with the police. I have my hands on the 10 and 2. If they ask me for something, okay, I'm going to reach in my glove compartment and I'm going to grab my insurance. Here you go.
Well, I got one better for you. Don't keep your insurance in your glove compartment. Keep it above in your visor. Don't even keep it in your console. Don't keep it nowhere where they could that they could possibly say that a gun. I thought he was reaching for a gun. You're reaching, there ain't nothing up there but the visor. Keep that insurance card right up there, on your visor. Some people got a little patch on their got a little pouch that they keep on their windows that they or they'll have it handy, and when the police pull them over, they just put it right down there on the window. It's a little clip. Put it on the window. Boom. There it is right there. But yeah,
that's good. Do you think a lot of these guys are really scared, Will?
A lot of police?
Yeah.
No, they're not scared, bro. And we need to stop saying that. We need to stop entertaining that shit. They're not scared. These same cops who claim that they're scared are signing up to come and work in Fifth Ward and Compton and South Central. They sign up. Look, when they're in the academy, they're hoping they get assigned to the hood because they know they can run rampant in the hood. They know they can be disrespectful. They're looking for the action. They want to use that gun. They want to kill something. They looking to come into the hood. They're not afraid of us. Why? Look, man, would you be afraid if you had, look, for anybody that's ever been in a gang, some of you have been involved in gangs, right? And I'm talking about the audience. Some of you have been involved in gangs, right? When you're in a gang, you feel fortified. You feel confident. You got your homies. They got my back, man. And you walk to a spot, you ain't worried about nothing because, man, somebody get out of line, y'all gonna serve them up. Well, that's how the police act. They know that they're the biggest gang in the entire country. So that gang is so big that if they don't have enough on the ground right then and there, they'll come in from out of state. They'll ship them in from out of state, fly them in. They be driving all in from all over the place, different counties and everything. They just come from everywhere. They'll converge on the action, come to get you. So that's why you can have the biggest and the baddest, most dangerous dude in the hood who got everybody shook. But when the police come and say, yo, we got a warrant for your arrest for traffic ticket, his ass gonna comply because he know their gang is much larger than his gang, and their gang is a legalized gang. Their gang gets their checks from the government. Their gang is actually more funded than any gang that they could ever even imagine started.
Yeah, but just imagine this. At one time, you was a little kid when the Compton Sheriff's Department was cracking, right? Wasn't you?
Compton Police Department, yeah.
Compton Police Department.
Yeah, we had the PD before the sheriffs.
Yeah, Compton PD, I heard, was the worst stuff in the world.
Yeah, it was kind of a rough time for us growing up in Compton. If you was affiliated with gangs, they would patrol, hit your block. You know, you probably go to jail every night just for what they would try to call loitering, but we was just hanging out in the hood, so you go to jail. Um, you know, beat up. Taking the enemy hoods and dropped off. Um, shit, they were cooking themselves. A couple of Compton PD got killed by somebody back in the days because they were so fucked up. Uh, and then the situation with the police chief. I mean, back then, and their affiliations with Death Row Records and all that. So Compton PD was vicious, and that's why they got canceled out, and the sheriffs moved in and had to take over
Yep.
because the police department was just too vicious, man. It was too corrupt and vicious.